Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Spring 2020. I'm Atlas, joined by Wadid, and it has been a very long night so far, but we are finally up to the main event. Gen.G versus T1, the two teams at the top of the standings and likely to be our spring final, finally facing off. And Gen.G, they've lost one match this entire season, and it was against T1.
Yep, we do not have official match of the week in LCK, but I do think this is the match of the week.
Oh, definitely.
And probably match of the split as well.
Match of the century.
Oh,
wait, maybe not of the century. I don't know. That'd be like every single match so far.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be difficult. However, it is a huge one, and I'm really excited that we can bring it to you guys. Both Wadid and I are very, very, very amped for this matchup because it's going to tell us so much about what to look forward to for the finals.
Yeah, I mean, they did even special interviews we are gonna show really soon. That actually is a head coach interview.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting, that answers that we can actually have it here. And I'm not sure, actually. A lot of people asked me to prediction about this matchup, but I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I don't know either. I think both of these teams are playing extraordinarily well right now. As Ruler is at 998 kills so far in the LCK.
Oh yeah. But comparably, Faker, when Faker had the, it was 2k kills, right?
Yeah.
He lost that matchup, so I'm not sure if he's gonna have great memory with the 1k kill or not.
Ooh, this might be a sign that T1's going to be able to take it. However, I think that Gen.G have been playing extraordinarily well. I think that this matchup is fun for so many different reasons. You know, Clid getting revenge on his former organization is one of the things, but also just the story of Gen.G versus T1, the fact that Gen.G took down T1 in the 2017 World Championship as well. Like, there is a chip on the shoulder of this T1 squad. Yes, the names were different, but no, it is still the same organizations. So just so much history and so much to go into this particular matchup.
And also it's really interesting that they have first 8-match winning streak in Gen.G's history.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. That's insane.
11 wins and 1 lose only. It's only against the T1, so they must revenge here. Otherwise, they're gonna feel so bad if they are on the first place or something. Then they need to wait T1 with 2 losses in a row in the match history. So they should able to get this win if they wanna be more comfortable and be confident.
And also, we have another one of our stats to keep track of. The win rates with first turret for both teams are 100%.
So one team is gonna break their stats here today.
Well, actually, no. The thing is, like, if whichever one of our teams, if they take first turret, then they're gonna win, and then the stat stays alive. So I guess that's just how that works. Apparently, Dragon Soul isn't necessary at all for both of these teams. They're oh well, actually, hang on, wait a second. This is just the amount of games that they get Dragon Soul, and it's over 2/3 of the time for both of the teams. Exactly 2/3 for T1.
So over the half. So which means they both teams are having great time in all the game, and I really think, especially today, because of the current meta as well. Early game is so important.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's so important. In between the mid jungle, BDD and Clid versus, I'm not sure who's gonna play from T1 side.
Yeah, if it's Kuz or LM that's going to be in.
Kuz or LM plus Faker, I'm not sure who's gonna win today, because right now T1's mid jungle is also synergizing really well between them. So
yeah, even LM actually just making his way in. Like, we saw Kuz come to save the day for T1 in their most recent matchup, but he also played very well in that game. And LM's coordination with Canna on the top side of the map has been very, very strong. So looking forward to seeing how that goes. I think Rascal's been playing very well. You did highlight Life the last time that we saw Gen.G play as really being a standout, but I think that Teddy and Effort are the best bottom lane at the moment in the LCK. They are just so consistent, Teddy especially. It doesn't matter what happens in the early game, I don't think. Teddy will always get himself to the point where he can carry late.
Oh yeah, and they did some cool April Fool's joke about the team name, App1, and they explain it about it, and they say it's Faker #1. And when I think about it, maybe T1 is not SKT T1, it's just Teddy #1.
Well, I mean, Teddy has been certainly proving that. As we're going to have a look at key player points here. What is this?
Key player. It's
the amount of times that they've had key player.
No. It's winning.
Aha.
Who gets the win? It's just a match history.
Got it. Okay, so 6-1 in 2016, pretty damn good for Faker. But then 2017 was the time of BDD when he was on Longju back then, and then 2018 saw sort of the decline of Faker and the rise of Kingzone when BDD was at the helm of that particular squad. So certainly shows some fluctuations from year to year. As we have a look at their stats now, BDD is a monster at the moment.
His monster, yeah. And finally, we have good Zoe and Azir player here.
Oh, yeah.
Especially a Faker with the LeBlanc and BDD with the Zoe. Oh, man. I cannot even expect who's going to win the mid lane today.
Well, these three champions should just be banned every single game because both of these players are just too good on Azir, LeBlanc, and Zoe. Like, both of them are just outstanding. So I don't think we're going to see it. And it's going to mean that there are going to be certain key champions that are going to be left available if if the ban phase is going to include those three.
Yeah.
As we have a look at some statements from the coaches, Edgar here, weirdly enough, our game kind of falls apart when we play against T1. Since T1 has always been a barrier to overcome, we will focus on our play. Interesting to hear them putting so much emphasis on this particular matchup. And then Coach Kim, we are not prepared to be the first, second in the regular split. We will prepare the rest of the split trying different strategies. So they're not...
This is really interesting.
Yeah, so like they're not trying necessarily to finish first. They're just trying to make sure that they have the best strategies coming into playoffs. Is that what he means?
I mean, I think he's trying to say we don't deserve the first place or like second place yet, because I think he's not happy about their performance right now.
Well,
that's what it means. It feels like.
Well, we'll see whether T1 are going to be able to overcome their demons and take down Gen.G here as we get into pick and ban for game number 1. And as we were expecting, the LeBlanc is going to be banned here. Gen.G getting rid of that one first, but the set ban to come in, and already I'm feeling like these ban slots are getting too and too few because the Senna is still up for ban. The Aphelios is there, the Kalista, the Ornn, and now Jarvan has been taken away. And so these key 80 carry pickups are going to be standing out like a sore thumb.
Weirdly, T1 didn't like to pick Senna when it's open. So
that's true.
The Senna can be the key point for this game.
And we know that Ruler and Life really like it too.
Oh yeah. So... And as you mentioned it, Zoe and Azir is on point too.
Well, the Cassiopeia is going to be banned away here. This is a favorite for Teddy on the bottom side of the map, and this might mean that Gen.G are looking towards something like a Kalista, as there's the Zoe ban that we were talking about. Gen.G, the Azir is open, Aphelios is open, Ornn is open. There are so many champions, but the Aphelios has to be the standout first pick. We saw it picked up by Root in our first series of the day, and he just decimated his opponents on this champion, and now it's in the hands of Ruler, a player who can certainly hard carry for his team as well. So I hope T1 have a plan, because it's going to need to be a good one.
Azir should be taken, for sure, and maybe Ornn can be a question mark in here, but I don't think they want to give Ornn and Aphelios at the same time.
Yeah.
Or they might have great counter into it, because Kana is playing so much better.
That is very true. And they also still have that Silas available that they will have to, Gen.G will have to think about when they're considering an Ornn pickup. Because thinking about what he wants to collect here is the Taric is going to be the priority. Interesting. It does show their hand that they are going to be aiming towards something like a Kalista, but it shows that they value the Taric more.
They might have some stats that they played the Taric with the Aphelios, or they're afraid to give away a Taric when they just pick the Kalista.
Yeah, and also assuming that Rascal isn't going to just lock away a Kalista on the top side as Zilean for BDD once again. His mid lane Zilean has been fantastic. It's funny because BDD and Ixu are our 2 Zilean players, and they play them in different solo lanes, as looking like an Ornn to be picked up as well. This is a powerful draft from Gen.G so far.
I like it. They just picked Zilean in 1 to 3. It's not the usual band picks, you know? And
yeah,
this is actually a really great choice against Kalista, I feel like, because those Glacial Augment is actually distracting Kalista a lot in team fights, in skirmishes. So yeah, this team comp looks really strong, and their team concept is looking really strong at the late game as well.
I think the late game is exactly where Gen.G are focusing, and I think this is a really, really smart move because it targets what T1's weakness is, which is they tend to play slow and methodical. You know, they go for those 80% plays where they get all of their setup and they don't necessarily play recklessly, especially not in the early game. And you saw their first turret statistics, so they're really low. Like, this team is not all about hard shoving very quickly. So Gen.G, keeping that in mind, looking to try and take away a lot of the more late game focused champions. And this composition already is looking certainly focused there. We'll see what they do with the support and jungle, or whether they maybe flex the Zilean somewhere as well. That's a possibility, but we'll see what happens as we move further into this draft. Yuumi has been banned away here by T1, as well as the Sylas, to try and protect the Ornn, and Tahm Kench to be taken off the board also.
Yeah, Yuumi should be banned. We saw how strong is Zilean with Yuumi, so it was really great snipe ban by T1. And also I'm curious about what jungle picks they're gonna do about it. Normally, you just pick Trundle away, but they just banned it, so you must blind pick jungler here to counter pick their top side, because Ornn is not still yet top laner.
Ooh.
And they just picked away all of you.
Yep, Olaf to come in, a little bit more early power here, and certainly a favorite for Cuz, and pairs well with the Taric. I like the idea. We'll see whether it is going to work out. This is pricing T1 into playing a little bit more aggressively around their early to mid game, just to try and maximize the usefulness of this Olaf. And now Clid is going to have counterpick in that jungle as, oh my god, is it going to be Bard Aphelios?
I like it.
Oh my god, I would be so excited, but instead it's going to be Rek'Sai. Still, there's a chance for the Bard. Maybe. What is Life going to pick up
Bard
for himself?
is good against Taric. I was OTP Bard. I played Bard 4K games, so I know that Bard is good into Taric.
That is way too many games, we did. 4,000 games on a champion is too many games on a champion. But still, I'm glad that you're now armed with all the information about Bard, even though it's going to be Braum that's locked in. Oh no. It's a disaster. That's alright. It's going to help keep Ruler safe. And he might be able to block some undertows, things like that.
My little worry here is they put too much work on Rola compared to T1 side, because T1 has Kalista, which is great early mid late game, and Olaf for the early game, and Azir for the mid late game. And it's like some kind of balance, you know? But my only worry is if Rola first or slip a little bit, then Gen.G is gonna just fall down.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. I do like the Rek'Sai being picked up just to try and shore up some form of early game. Here for Gen.G, it means the Clid will be able to rocket around his jungle and make sure that he can assist his lanes. Not that Ornn is a bad laner at all, and BDD is on the Zilean here as well, so he's going to be able to have some lane control at the same time. Canna has picked up the top lane Aurelia. Sorry, not Aurelia. Akali.
Yeah, Akali.
My brain is melting here. It's been quite a few games so far, but Akali has been locked in. And that's his decision into the Ornn. I don't necessarily see that as being like a counter or anything like that, but if you want to dive a backline and murder an Aphelios, and Akali's a pretty good champion for that.
Yeah, but at the same time, they already have Braum and Zilean, which is so great for the pilling.
Yeah, true.
So I think he should get something early game. Even though it's Akali into Ornn matchup, I don't think if he goes like 50-50 farm and being useful compared to Ornn, I don't think that's possible.
Yeah. Well, we'll see whether this is going to be good enough for T1 to go up against the late game powerhouse draft that Gen.G has put together. If this is a game that's just played out slow, Gen.G automatically wins. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if T1 can up the tempo of this match and understand that their win condition has to be around 20 to 30 minutes, or even earlier if they can, right? Like, they need to fight, and they need to fight early.
Well, at least they have mid prior and bot lane prior because of the matchup, so they should able to get some early objectives in the match.
Yep, and also they have an early game jungler who will be able to clear out the jungle about as quickly as the Rek'Sai as well. I mean, both of these jungles can certainly skirmish very heavily, both of them taking the Conqueror this time around. Haven't seen Hail of Blades Rek'Sai for a little while, but is going to be a little bit more sturdy as far as these jewels are concerned. And both of these junglers can easily affect the rest of the map. So we'll just have to really pay close attention to where Cuz and Clid are and see whether their laners can play around the aggression that these two can actually put into this game.
Yeah, and also Coach Kim said they are preparing for the rest of the split, trying different strategies, right? And we could definitely see that from Cuz playing really aggressive compared to round 1. So we can expect more aggressiveness movement by Cuz, like invading enemy jungle and those kind of things, especially with Olaf.
Yeah.
So it's gonna help a lot for their bot lane.
Looking forward to seeing what Cuz can actually get done this game. He's spent some time on the bench. He certainly came out and helped save T1 earlier on in the week. As we're going to check in some stats here.
Oh yeah, it says speedy sports car Gen.G versus safety sedan style T1.
And this is exactly what we were talking about. I think that's why the Gen.G draft was so smart, just playing into T1's playstyle. And also highlights what Coach Kim was saying about them needing to try different strategies and be more flexible. Feels like both of these teams have sort of done their homework and figured out exactly what they need to do. And we'll see whether this T1 draft that certainly does look a little bit more earlier focused is going to be able to do in the face of so much late game pressure.
Oh yeah. And what kind of car do you like it? Sedan or sports car?
I'm a bit boring. Like I drove like a really, really old Mazda 121 for a really long time. I don't really care about fancy cars. I like cars that are small, easy to park, you know? I like practicality with my vehicles. I'm not all about them like flashy Lamborghinis and stuff like that.
Okay.
How about you? Are you a fancy car fan? I know there's a lot in like Korean culture, like they love fancy cars.
Yeah, I like fancy car, and I like how they play Gen.G. So I just want to make sure that Gen.G plays the same when they're playing against T1, you know, as Coach mentioned it. Because they're playing some kind of weirdly and differently when they're especially playing against T1. Maybe that's a mental barrier or something.
Could potentially be, as we check out Faker's incredible win rate on the Azir. Only 10 losses out of 46 games. Not bad whatsoever. And that's just in the LCK, guys. This guy racked up a hell of a lot more victories in international competition on the Azir as well. So those stats don't even tell the full story of how damn good Faker is on the Azir.
Oh yeah, and we were expecting them to actually ban this champion, but it's actually opened, so Faker needs to show that they have to ban this champion.
Yeah. We need to see proof that it is definitely not getting through the draft in game number 2. That is 100% correct.
Oh, this is actually interesting stats because they only lost one game, right?
Yep.
And it is against T1. Is that Braum stat that the Life has lost is against T1?
It has to have been because unless no. So they've only lost one match to T1. I think they've dropped games. So I don't know when they played the Braum. Might have been against T1. But otherwise, they certainly have a lot of 100% win rates so far. And Rascal at 8-0 on the Ornn is very scary.
But also, Kana is first pick Akali this time.
Yeah.
If I saw it right. So he should show the reason why he picked Akali into Ornn, especially into Braum and Zilean combo.
Yeah, especially when Ornn can itemize so well into magic damage as well. Like, Abyssal Mask is just such a good item on Ornn. Works offensively and defensively at the same time, and the Masterwork upgrade is just so strong. So, yeah, there's going to need to definitely be a reason for this Akali pick. And so far, Clid is going for a dive underneath this turret. We'll see whether Rascal's going to pick up the aggro first, whether they can make this one happen. Great knock-up as Canna is going to flash away. Jumps on forward as now Clid tanking up this turret, and Canna held onto the Shroud for so long and used it to guarantee his escape.
He forced out 2 flashes and he managed to escape there. And they're getting free Drake because of that. And he's not going to lose that many creeps either because of the TP. This is such a great super play by Kana right now.
Yeah, really nice work. And the fact that Cuz was immediately there to lock down the Drake, and also look at the farm. Because Clid went all of that way, didn't clear out the Krug camp before he went for that dive, 40 to 27. That is so many camps in the lead here for Cuz already, as we have a look at this once again.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Shroud was on cooldown, but anyways, first they canceled the dash, so I thought it's gonna be free kill, but he managed to flash it out, so yeah, that was great super play.
Yeah, really clean stuff. So this might be the reason why Canna picked the Akali. You were asking for it, and maybe we figured it out already. As he hits that level 6 mark, effort, moves into the mid lane, he's going to get some heals for Faker, who does have teleport and can use that to get back into this lane. As you can see, he's taken the lethal tempo on the Azir, certainly going to help him scale. And let's just see what Faker can get done in this game as we look to play around in the next Drake, which will be the Infernal. So we have the options of an Ocean Soul or a Cloud Soul. We've seen so many Ocean Souls so far today. And so it just might be that it's time for a Cloud. For the most hype matchup, we get the most boring Dragon Soul.
Yeah. Cloud Drake is so boring.
Oh, yeah.
The map changes nothing, and it gives nothing that special compared to Ocean Drake Soul and those kind of things. And we can see how they play all the game. Stats never lie.
Yeah, the first blood being in the hands of Clid almost every single time. And BDD also having the highest stats as far as mid lane, I believe. So yeah, definitely shows that this mid-jungle duo has been performing extremely well so far in the LCK.
The reason why mid-jungle is so important is not only about the mid-lane pressure, it affects a lot of different lanes, you know? It affects jungle, river control, it affects bot lane pressure, it affects top lane pressure. So that's why if you have mid-jungle strong pressure, the game is so easy to play.
Well, now you're looking at Cuz moving into the enemy jungle. He should be able to get a smite away here, as Clid may not even want to use it. And we'll see whether Cuz can come on over. Steals it away so easily. Clid not even with his finger on the button by the looks of things. Seemed like he had an idea that the Olaf could be there. You saw that he was pulling it all the way to the side, but still unable to avoid that one getting stolen. Gen.G have a slight lead when it comes to gold, but I'm looking at this jungle feeling like Cuz is having the greatest time right now.
Yeah, as you said, he already got the first Drake, and it seems like he's trying Header as well. Even though BDD can TP back and get some pressure from the mid lane, I feel like they have so much room for every single objective, even though they didn't even try. Look at the both side vision control. They already had set up 3 control wards.
Yeah, it's insane.
And the vision control on the top side is also insane.
And so deep into their jungle as well.
Their map is just completely open.
Yeah,
the map is completely open. So they know where is Clid and where is enemy mid lane, which is, it affects all the lanes.
Well, we can see that Ruler farming out quite nicely here up against Teddy, who's trying to put on pressure as Faker is going to make a little bit of a visit towards the top lane. There's the ulti, doesn't even need the flash, as now Canna ults on forward. The Ram has been called, gets the knock up onto a couple of members, but Canna's still alive, has the ultimate for the execution, and it's perfect as per usual as they lock down first blood onto the enemy top lane.
Yeah, that was the timing that the BDD needs to reset and TP back. And also, kind of forced the flashes on the top side with the top super play.
Yeah.
So it was just great timing for the Faker. And this is the maybe second time?
Well, not actually able to get the steal, I don't think. I think that was actually picked up by Clid. As, yeah, you can see Cuz doesn't have the blue buff, but it means that BDD doesn't get it, and that's the most important thing. Denying blue buff for the Zillion is just gigantic for T1, really will help challenge Gen.G's ability to clear waves in that mid lane, and you can see he really wishes that he had that blue buff rotating around.
That effort move and wrong timing was just perfect. So that's why they just could get the header cleanly and just back away.
Yeah, and now going to go back to base is Cuz as we check out this play towards the top side. So many times you see this play and the Azir has to flash, but Faker just taxis his way in. Rascal, no options, didn't have flash, no time to searing charge himself to get out of trouble, and it's just all too easy.
All too easy. It seems like T1 is so strong for now, but they're just giving away the Drake, it seems like, because of the tempo. They spend too much time on top side, so that's why they're just giving up the Infinite Drake for Gen.G right now. But still, it seems like T1 is leading the game.
Oh yeah, they are dictating the pace at the moment, which they should. I mean, their composition does say that they need to be in the lead as this game goes on, and it's not about Gen.G pushing the tempo right now. It's about them taking what they can and trying to create whatever advantages they can get. It's not on them to make plays, and we need to still see more from T1.
Yep. Still, they have to unlock. They have to do something on the map, because eventually Zillion and Braum combo with the Aphelios is gonna smelt everyone in the late game team fight.
Oh yeah. And the fact that Ornn's going to give everyone items, BDD is going to be giving everyone experience. The fact that you can fast track your Ornn to get more ornaments as well, if BDD and Rascal are ever going to be in the same area, that's actually going to be huge. Like, donating experience to your teammates is actually just a really busted thing to be able to do, to be honest. But
that is true.
Zillion just seems to be able to do it all. As Ruler here towards the bottom side has the dream combo of weapons, but Teddy and Effort are still able to push out, not behind by too far. And Rascal's doing a great job here towards the top side as well, despite the fact that he went down for that first blood that was picked up by Canna. He's still held on to a CS advantage throughout this laning phase.
So extra gold for Faker.
Yeah. As
Nothing special.
oh no, he didn't get any of the plates. He hadn't hit the turret.
Yeah, I mean, it's only cause that they're getting gold
Oh no.
in the bank. But anyways, they got the gold. That's the point.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways,
That's true. Managed to pick that one up.
it's a little bit sad that the Faker didn't manage to get the gold. But anyways, they got the header, they got the gold. Everything seems fine, but still, we are calling it. They have Gen.G is fine with early game. They just need to not die too many times.
Yeah. There you go.
And they just need to go hit the point that they have all the items for the Aphelios, which is their composition is for all about the Aphelios.
And actually, I like that
Zillion
idea if you're feeling pressure in a matchup, right? Try and build a composition that by not doing anything, you win. Because that way, like, all of the pressure that you're feeling, like, you just get to play calm, play safe, and play to not lose in the early stages. And then when you get your advantages, that's when you strike. And I think that it's a good way of dealing with added pressure in a scenario like this. But I like that T1 are trying to push the advantage.
I mean, if bad teams are doing it, then they're just giving up Nexus for the farm.
Yeah.
Gen.G is different, right? They're giving up, but they have some fights when they need to.
Yeah, and they also they take what they can get, right? Like the Infernal Drake earlier on, that was just a really good heads-up play, understanding that T1 were going for a reset at that time. And so T1 do not have anywhere near the advantages they're looking for. It's like 200 gold in their favor or something like that. So really nothing at all. And if Gen.G can keep playing stable like this, it's going to get harder and harder for T1 to win this game.
Yeah, but also for T1, I was kind of surprised by Teddy's interview before when they played against the DRX. Even though they have like Caitlyn, Braum, and Ornn, something kind of late game champions, with the Kalista Taric, when they had the Kalista Taric, they never think that we are bad in the late game. They always think that we can win the late game team fight because of the Tari Kalista combo. So T1 might be thinking that they win the late game either.
Oh.
Even though they have Zillion and Braum and Aphelios at the same time with the orb on the top side.
Yeah.
I mean, he showed that before with the Kalista, even though he was playing against 5 items Caitlyn. Normally, you might think that the Caitlyn outranges with the crit items, Kalista is getting outscaled, but Teddy was different, right?
Yeah.
So he might shows that we are wrong, that we might think Gen.G has outscaling.
Well, maybe it's just that Teddy is a late game champion.
Oh, Teddy is just late game player.
Yep.
The Jin Air legacy.
That's exactly it.
Oh man,
that's what I'm thinking. I mean, he makes Draven look like a late game carry.
True. That might be true. And they're trying second time.
Looking for Canna once again. He is going to be able to get into his shroud, but not going to be able to avoid the Void Rush, and Clid is going to get his revenge.
That was clean, and it should be like that.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion. And this time around, kind of just got clean killed, and I mean, he died and he lost the first turret to Gen.G.
Oh no!
And we saw
so Gen.G wins. I guess we go next.
I mean, stats levelized, but yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen.
17 wins with first turret, 0 losses, guys. I hate to say it, but T1 stock just went down in this match. If they can win though, like then it's taking down Gen.G for the second time, but also it's ruining their statistics when it comes to first turret. So now there's even more on the line here for T1.
And it looks like Faker is getting every single farm in the map right now.
Oh yeah.
He's like already level 12 when his support is level 7.
And he has
160 gold.
Yeah, 180 CS at 16 minutes is just silly.
Oh my god.
That is so much fun.
Some people are saying that maybe Faker is trying to have some bug in the game to try to get some extra CS, but yeah, I mean, he's a better player, but also, BDD has 175 CS either.
What the
with
heck?
Zillion, by the
yeah,
way.
no, Zillion's actually really annoying to farm on. If you guys have played him before, you'd certainly understand
It's really hard to... It's really hard to farm it with Zillion, but yeah, he's doing it somehow.
Yeah, well... Just a shout out to how good these mid laners are, I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
Staying within
also,
10 CS with a player that's taking like more minions that I think should be on the map right now is just amazing on a champion that can be annoying to farm with in the early game. Zillion after that is certainly very easy to farm on. You just throw 2 bombs into the back line and then you just kill all the minions and it's absolutely fine. But right now it can be quite difficult. But key item pickups have come in here for our mid laners as well. You've got the GLP coming down for BDD, as well as the Nash's Tooth done here for Faker, who has that lost chapter that he's just sitting on and wants to make sure that he's battle ready as quickly as possible. And I really like that. You just get the mana regen from the lost chapter and then complete your key item. And BDD is going to give level 11 to Clid, because that's the thing that you should be able to do.
Spawning Herald with the 5-man collapsing on the mid lane, it seems like. Akali is stuck on the top side.
Yep, and there's bombs everywhere, being really annoying, as the Rift Herald not going to be stopped and will take down a big chunk of that outer turret, especially seeing as it didn't have any turret plates. Oh, never mind that. She does true damage anyway. However, still good. As there, Gen.G move down towards the bottom side. They clear out some vision, and we've got 2.5 minutes until this Cloud Drake, so bottom side of the map isn't necessarily going to be the point on the map that both of these teams are really looking for, as Ruler and Life just happy to stand up against Effort and Teddy right here. Very, very close as far as the bottom lane is concerned. Good flash comes out from Ruler, though, to escape the dazzle, as in goes the Olaf. Giant double knock up there with the Fate's Call, but Ruler is still alive. Cosmic Radiance comes down, teleport to keep the Aphelios up, and no one is going to die just yet.
They just instantly backed out when Zillion used ulti. That shows that they're just playing as a team. That's just so great, and Gen.G instantly just goes to the mid lane and gets the free mid tower.
Yeah.
That's a great rotation right there.
Really good play. Utilizing what they were able to pick up in that instance and understanding positioning on the map. Really clean stuff from Gen.G.
I mean, yeah, surprisingly, they just instantly moved towards mid lane and just get the mid tower.
Damn. It's funny because I'm sure a lot of people are watching this game being like, oh, it's LCK, so slow, so boring, but the amount of thinking that goes into all of these different movements around the map for both of these teams is actually really intricate and really interesting to watch.
I mean, if it was like APK versus Griffin, it might be really boring, but I'm just happy that these players are farming for the one great team fight in LCK.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though there is only 2 kills for 20 minutes, it's already been really intense in my opinion.
Super intense.
Yeah.
And it feels like the next advantage that does come in is going to be so important, as Rascal has a level advantage for a little while. Canna did just hit level 13 right as I was speaking. But the Ornn is in a great position, has 2 of his Masterwork items, wants to at least wait for Clid to finish off his Black Cleaver before Obsidian Cleaver is put down. We need an Infinity Edge here for Ruler. Would have liked him to build it as second item so that he can get the Molten Edge a little bit earlier, but that's okay. Values the Rune's Hurricane, and certainly synergizes well with a lot of the weapons that Aphelios does have. And this Gen.G squad is scaling into the late game, and honestly, they're not even behind. They're ahead by 400 gold.
Yeah, from way how they play the game right now, their positioning is way more aggressive than before, which means they have more percentage to win, they feel like. So they're just stepping up and trying to get vision aggressively.
I like it.
Because they're ready to fight.
Well, we'll see whether they can actually win a fight. As you can see, the Ornn's certainly in a great position for that with both of his Masterworks, like we were talking about. And Rod of Ages is now stacking up on B2D. He's now speeding towards this Cloud Drake. Even on Drakes, if this is going to go over to Gen.G, and it looks like it will, as Cuz going to get into position. It's looking like it's going to be a fight. Yeah, exactly. Clid's going to go the whole long way around. Good double knockup as the Drake will reset. As now Cuz, Ragnarok has been popped, but now look at this. The defense, as Ruler has his turret out, doesn't have Crescendum anymore. Severum Infernum, and now the 5 members of Gen.G turn up, and the Smite is going to lock down that Drake. And T1 to say, all right, well, we're just going to try and get out of here. Canna does have Shuriken backflip, so he is going to be absolutely fine. And Cuz needs to be a little bit careful as he's relatively low.
And this is the timing that Ornn is way more useful than Akali in teamfight. And I think in this game, for the rest of the time, Ornn is going to be useful than Akali, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Unless he one-shots Aphelios before Zilean ulti hits. That's all he needs to do.
Yeah, or they can find a fight away from the Zilean, right? If they can find picks. The thing is that Gen.G have just been playing as a team so much. Whenever they're going into danger, they're doing it as 5. And so there hasn't been that moment to get picks. And honestly, if you're a T1 fan, you're waiting for Faker to pop off in a team fight. That is how it's going to go. If like there's a 4-man Emperor's Divide, then that might be the window in for T1, because then they have the Cosmic Radiance. They can fight for that extra period of time and might be able to kill someone twice, which is what they're going to have to do to try and deal with B2D and his Chrono Shift.
Yeah, and just right before T1's mid and AD carry had bounty. I mean, he got it again, and their AD carry got it again. 200 gold's bounty without any kills, which means they're just growing up so fast.
And they are farming
compared to
so
AD
hard.
carry and mid. Yeah, farming so hard, growing up so fast. So it's gonna show off in the team fight really soon.
Well, hopefully it's soon, because I'm getting antsy. I really want to find a fight, guys. I want to see who's going to be able to out finesse each other. As Life standing around in the river, does have a lot of vision available, as now Cuz is going to turn up, throws an axe his way that isn't going to hit the mark. As now the K-Ram has continued. Clid clearing out vision here as Cuz throws him an axe, but it's just going to be Prey Seeker for Undertow as the trade. And Teddy walking around his own jungle. Canna's going to turn up here, as I believe they know that Rascal stepped in, but there is also a control ward that is going to be cleared out, and so Rascal is going to be absolutely fine. And Canna actually grabs that blue buff.
One hard thing for T1 right now is Akali is completely useless for now, because he's not winning his side. She's not winning her side lane, and also she's not that useful compared to Ornn in teamfight. So what's gonna Akali makes strong in this game is that just item power spike right now. So I'm not sure if they want to fight right now, T1. But for Gen.G side, it's really easy that if they just group as 5, it's gonna be really easy 4v5 fight right now, because as I said, Akali is useless right now.
Yeah, and the Akali just picked up Morello Nomicon. I don't know whether Morello's is really going to provide all that much in this particular game. Not a whole lot of healing, unless you're talking about Clid going underground. But that's really about it. I mean, Ruler's going to have Severin at certain points in these team fights, so that lifesteal might need mitigation. And Canna will be diving onto the Aphelios, so you can understand that, try and take away the lifesteal, but he doesn't have any built just yet. And I would have liked to have seen something like a Leandri's Torment, or even just going straight for Deathcap, just to add to his ability to just get into that backline and take down Ruler. Because we know that Aphelios is just this late game monster that if you let him get too many autos off in a team fight, you just insta-lose. Like, there's just you can get everything else right, but if Ruler's alive, then Gen.G wins. It's just how it goes.
Yeah, and they have really easy tools to kill Ruler in this game, which is just Zillion ulti and Braum. Just champion-wise, it's way too easy to kill Ruler off. But at the same time, enemy support is playing Braum against Azir, which is just heaven for Azir to have DPM stats uprising in this game.
We'll have to see whether Faker can do it. Yeah, teleport towards the top side. Faker out of position, gets double bombed there by BDD, who speeds up Clid, and the fantastic Void Rush to avoid the Emperor's Divide. Faker caught out of position in a side lane, and could this mean a Baron? Gen.G are thinking about it.
That was huge mistake by Faker. He just got caught in really dangerous moment when they can just try Nashor, or they get free third Drake for the Dragon Soul.
Well, Clid just took half of his health bar in damage, clearing out a ward. That ward in the back of the pit is still going to be there for T1, so looks like Gen.G will just go down and take the Constellation Cloud Drake. They are going to threaten Soul Point, but it doesn't mean as much when it's just a Cloud Soul. A little bit of that extra movement speed could work out for, you know, champions like Zillion, who just gets a free speed up whenever he makes anyone immortal. And, you know, Ruler will be able to throw out the Moonlight Vigil and then reposition a little bit faster. But, you know, Cloud Soul, no one really cares.
Huge mistake by Faker, but at the same time, Gen.G played so good. Their map awareness is just on point. Instantly just cut off Faker, who is just pushing Silent for free. And they got the third Drake as well. I mean, luckily, T1, they didn't give up Drake Soul yet, and Nashor either, so they still have chance.
And as I assume most of you are looking at, as far as you people in the chat, there is only 3 kills so far this game, so you might be saying a bit of a resident sleeper situation. But this game is, like we were talking about before, just super intense. And both of these players are just playing footsies, just trying to get the edge, trying to get the advantage. And it's what happens when you've got teams that don't want to take risks, like both T1 and Gen.G. They're waiting for these 80% these 80% plays, and they just can't find them because the other team's too good.
Yeah, and we can say this. It was just the first half that they just played. It was just vision control about it, and it was 0-0, I must say. But second half, they just need to do something.
Well, hopefully they do. I think T1 definitely needs to. They need to start creating advantages, otherwise this game's just going to get harder and harder. And Ruler has been sitting on this pickaxe for a really long time. He must be very close to his Infinity Edge, which will be instantly upgraded to that Molten Edge. And BDD heading towards his Rabadon's Death Cap as well. I mean, Gen.G is just going to get so strong as Clid tunnels his way out. Good double bomb there under effort, and now Rascal is starting the fight. The Fate's Call is going to be available, though, as BDD gets in with his Super Soaker, and Gen.G are going to have to back away from this one. Shuriken backflip gets Canna to safety, and once again, it's a stalemate.
Yeah, they just push them out and go to the mid wave and try to get maybe vision control again. I was expecting them to just go mid lane, but they were worrying about Nashor, so they're getting vision control. And again, vision control fight. Supports are resetting for new wards and new pink wards, new control wards, and waiting for probably, potentially, a 4th Drake for Gen.G.
Well, T1 just hit some pretty big power spikes, and we don't quite have the reset yet for the Aphelios to get his Infinity Edge or for the Zilean to pick up his Rabbidan's Death Cap. But we have Void Staff on Faker. We have Bloodthirster on Teddy. This is T1's time, and they are acting immediately. The Baron has been started. Klid's going to move on in. They get the bad news. As now Rascal almost has his ultimate back available. Cuz gets a lot of healing here from Effort, but now you can see Ruler has the perfect guns to try and fight this, and Gen.G do bully T1 away from this Baron.
And he got leveled up too. He is level 15 because of his Zilean.
Yeah, good old Zilean, classic. And now the backs are coming, and there's the Rabbidan's Death Cap, and Ruler's already doing so much damage, and he's sitting on so much gold right now. He wants to go back. He's going to go back right now. Outside of vision of T1, but we'll see whether T1 do make the call to start the Baron anyway. There is vision now available for Gen.G, and Effort and Cuz do have to back away from the area, but the Infinity Edge is there, but there's the Empress Divide onto Klid. Klid's just going to be taken down, and this could be T1's moment. Perfect timing as well, right as Ruler had gone back to base, and Gen.G couldn't team fight.
That was just, Faker giveth and Faker taketh.
Yeah, exactly. And this was, if you're a T1 fan, the Faker giveth side of things. Is now kind of waiting for a flank. Faker does have that bomb on his head. And now Teddy in the back of this pit. There's the Ornhorn. They're going to try and stop this, but there's the Cosmic Radiance. And like you were saying, no jungler, so this should go over to T1. It is going to be secured by Cuz, and now Rascal in trouble in the backline. But Rule has already picked up 2 kills. He was taken down, though. Faker grabs that kill, and now the perfect execution as the Akali jumps into the backline. T1 get the Baron and win the team fight.
That's the moment that T1 fans are waiting for. Teddy and Faker damage deal alive.
Oh, yeah.
They're just unbreakable, untouchable, unkillable.
And maybe unbeatable as they take down this outer turret in the mid lane. This is going to be a huge Baron power play, already up towards 3,000 gold as Ruler has hit his 1,000 kills. But is it going to be a loss as now Teddy finds himself out of position? There's the ulti as Klid is going to go golden, but I have a feeling Faker should be able to find this one. No, he has absolutely no mana as BDD is trying to find the kill onto the man in the mid lane, but he's unable to. Bomb goes off onto Klid, scared me for a second, but of course that was his own Zileans. And it's feeling a little bit like the Teddy giveth, Teddy taketh away type situation because he was a little bit too aggressively positioned.
Yep, that was the first timing that actually Teddy did some silly mistake in this season. And yeah, I mean, it's still fine, and everyone is trying hard to give some great memory for the Ruler when he got the 1k kill. So it's gonna be Cloud Drake Soul for Gen.G in this game.
Yep, so Cloud Soul, not a huge deal here for Gen.G, but will certainly help them out as far as movement around this map, getting their ultis back up, and all that sort of stuff. And we'll also give them access to this other Drake as we have a look at Faker's play once again.
렉사 넘길 수 있긴 해. 넘길 수 있긴 해. 이거 와볼래?
맞아.
나왔어.
Baker called it even 3 seconds before that he can look for Rek'Sai in that moment. Baker is like, look at Rek'Sai, I can actually insect it, and he did it. Such a great play.
It's definitely better if you can call out what you're going to do, 100%. As down to 30 seconds health actually. So that was closer than you might imagine. As Ruler very quickly gets his 2 kills to get to 1,000. But at the moment, T1 still has control of this game, but it's only a small amount, as now Teddy slightly caught out of position here.
That was a bit unnecessary, aggressive play.
I think that was what we call a whoopsie. That was certainly a whoopsie. Whoopsie play. Don't want to be doing that.
But anyways, they got Nashor. Even though they lost the Cloud Drake Soul, that's not the worst situation for T1. Especially when they have Kalista Taric, they had strong confidence in their late game. So yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with Zilean and Braum and Aphelios and Ornn at the same time in the late game. It's already been 34 minutes in this game.
And also the best Masterwork items as well. Molten Edge coming in, Rabbidan's Witch Cap as well. That is a lot of damage potential from the damage dealers of Gen.G. And now Ruler's going to pick up sort of extra luxury items, now has a Hex Drinker, probably wants to build towards something like a QSS there as well, although there is not a lot to QSS maybe a dazzle, but he shouldn't be getting dazzled anyway if the rest of his team's going to be peeling for him. So maybe just trying to mitigate as much magic damage as possible is a good idea, and that's why Hex Drinker was his decision to try and pick up. So far, Faker has been doing all of the damage.
Yeah. And on Gen.G's side, Ornn is one that most damage in the team, by the way.
Yeah.
Such a balance pick.
Good old Ornn. Assassin, Bruiser, Mage. The entire list that our friend Captain Flowers went through. He just does it all. Does good old Ornn. Now Gen.G thinking about getting feisty here in this mid lane. Elder Drake up in 3.5 minutes, but right now they're milling around this this river, and honestly there's nothing really on the map for them to get towards that bottom side. T1 probably wanting to get a push towards that bottom lane just to get that turret for that extra standing gold. And right now they're ahead by a couple of thousand, but honestly it means nothing. Stats wise, Gen.G will be in the lead as Ruler just runs all the way up to Teddy. But he's feeling pretty comfortable right now as this inner turret's going to get sieged. Gen.G understanding that they still do have a very good position in this game.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what's going to be Zillion's R cooldown right now with the Cloud Drake. So
oh yeah, wow. He might be able to get like
it's probably
two in a
like
team fight.
20 seconds or something.
That's ludicrous. Actually might make Cloud Soul a little bit better in this game, especially with the fact that they all have that movement speed advantage as well. But I mean, it's not great. It's not like they have champions that can really capitalize on the extra movement speed from the Cloud Drake. Or the Cloud Soul, I should say.
Right now, game is a bit slowing down, but as I mentioned it, Teddy really likes to do go late game teamfight with Kalista Tari, even though the matchup is... people might think that Gen.G has great late game comp. Maybe T1 is thinking that they have late game comp.
Yeah, maybe T1 just doesn't care, and they just understand
Yeah.
how to play these champions to a level that they're happy with. But they're going for a reset now. We've got Baron up in 26 seconds, and backing on a ward is Effort. He should be okay. Fate's Call going to be available as all of the ultimates just going wide actually here for Gen.G, and now T1 thinking it might be their chance to go for a fight. Clid going to get taken down by the Undertow as now Canna gets into the backline. Ruler doesn't get any help, but the ultimate is going to be there from the Zillion. Rascal in trouble as Teddy just chasing after them. Ruler is going to fall as the Chrono Shift isn't going to work out for him, and T1, they may have just found their team fight and they may have just broken the base of Gen.G.
That's the team fight one, T1. Their team fight is just so clean, they know what target they want to. Their focus is just so great, and they're looking for the end.
Yeah, that's a teleport in from Canna just to stop that minion from going down as the first Nexus turret is going to fall. Cuz is going to go down as well. Chrono Shift back off cooldown like you were saying. The Cloud Drake helping out there, but the Ornn isn't going to be so lucky. Faker and Teddy both still alive as the Moonlight Vigil comes in. Double kill now for Ruler as he's chasing after Faker and Teddy. Teddy going to go down for the triple as now Ruler with the movement speed from this Zillion will just destroy Faker for the quadra kill. You can't overstep against this Gen.G squad, especially not when there's an Aphelios in the game.
Is it gonna be end by Gen.G right now? It seems like it, actually.
I mean, the death time is a pretty damn long. 15 seconds on Cuz, 20 on Effort, but there's still 30 seconds on Teddy, 40 seconds on Faker, and 30 on Canna. There will be some super creeps that Gen.G has to deal with, but you can see the teleport coming in just to make sure that they keep this creep wave alive. I think that Gen.G may have just got it.
Yeah, with 1k goals, 1k kills, Rula is memorizing his 1k kills with victory might be here.
Effort is going to come in, doesn't have his ultimate available. He was so close, but it is going to be 7-1 and 2 here for Ruler. Second Nexus turret is going to fall down as well, and when it all felt like it was going T1's way, Gen.G turn it on its head and take game one.
That was really long game, but fast game at the same time. And Rula deserves the POG right there.
Damn, that's so intense. And we had like 3 kills for so long in this game, and it was then the classic LCK one team fight and the game's over. But it wasn't even the team that won the team fight that won the game. Just ridiculous.
There was literally 5 minutes team fight and the game is over. they just farmed for 30 minutes and the game is gone. Oh man.
And look,
what hilarious.
This is actually exactly how Gen.G built their team composition. They built it to be like, well, I guess like we'll just grab as many late game picks as we can possibly find, and Ruler was on a champion that he could just solo carry with. He was very close to dying here, but BDD's timing on the chrono shift, absolutely amazing.
That was so close. That was so close. Even Faker had the flash right there before, but the ultimate of the Faker.
Yeah, and then the fact that Ruler has Crescendum and Calibrum for this exact moment, he got it as he was like respawning. Like, just insane. Just the damage potential of those two weapons is nutty as we have a look at this from Ruler's perspective.
하면 될 거. 나 죽게 할 듯. 미니언 일단 아들한테 조심해. 천천히. 이속 줄게. 아까지 노텔. 이속대. 천천히 해. 풀 노플. 나이스.
BDD is like, I'm gonna give movement speed. Like every 3 seconds, you know? I'm giving movement speed. And Ruler is not saying anything.
Yeah, Ruler's just being a turret. Just being a turret. But that was a super intense game one between both of these teams, man. Oh my god. Yeah. Game number 2, is this going to be a similar scenario? Are we going to see like these sort of picks getting through for Gen.G? Are we going to see T1 go for more of that scaling approach and then put it on Gen.G to try and end the game early? I think that would be smart, to be perfectly honest. I think like having this late game win condition is a huge buff in this particular matchup because both of these teams don't like taking like unnecessary risks.
Yeah, that was way too clear that Gen.G had the late game team fight comp, and they managed to do that before their Nexus falls down. You know? That was the perfect timing for them.
It's really, really cool. Now we're going to have a look at some of the highlights here. Of course, Faker did play very, very well as this is here, showing us that, you know, these key mid lane picks are going to be important. And honestly, T1 were very close to just straight up winning the game, but a slight overstep, and Gen.G just stole it away.
Yeah, I mean, all the early games plan was on the T1 side, it seemed like, but also Gen.G didn't need to fight until this moment. The catching side, so great play, but also Cleat made some silly mistakes during the game, so it was pretty critical at some point, like this mistake that getting cut by enemy mid laner. Well, it's okay. They have Ruler, so it doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, I thought T1 got the winning point.
Yeah, I mean, this Baron play was actually fantastic from T1. And understanding like when resets were coming in, this Baron was way too close for comfort, but should have been very clean for Gen.G, sorry, for T1. And Teddy was untouched, right? Like, this was exactly how a team fight's supposed to go. But, man, I mean, ugh.
Does Ruler deserves the POG or Aphelios?
Well, I think Ruler, for being able to escape the curse of the 1,000 kills, that's certainly a good thing.
Oh my god. If he survived, if he died there, the game would be over.
Yeah. I mean, and if he dies here, the game would be over. If he didn't manage to get Crescendum and the Calibrum as like his next guns, maybe the game was over there as well.
Yeah, the game was so close.
And like this is the crazy thing, right? Because we were talking about this in the DRX series, which is like if you let through Aphelios, you need to have a really good way of dealing with it. Otherwise, he just wins the game.
Yeah, automatically. But eventually, he didn't do that much damage. It was just only one team fight that they did in the last moment that it looked really strong. That means Gen.G had the right timing for their team comp.
Yeah.
So it's great to see how they bounce back with only one team fight.
And I love that in a game that lasts almost 40 minutes, there was 600 gold difference between these two teams. It was just so insanely close. And now we get another game. and we maybe get T1 getting some revenge in game number 2 to bring us to a decider, because that is the ultimate dream, ladies and gentlemen. Not only will it be 9 games today, but we get this series to go to the very last match. That's what I want. That's what we need. And we'll see whether it happens as we head to a short break. And when we get back, I don't even know what's going to happen. I just hope there's more kills early. We'll see you after the break.
Yeah.